Another one of these fun games where we ask our two normal home cooks to try and guess where in the world these festive dishes are from.
I need a win.
I need a win.
In this particular format, neither of you have done particularly well recently, so
Very true.
I have high hopes.
Ooh, beanie.
So first off, what do you think you have in front of you? Then we'll talk about what it is and why, and then we need to pinpoint a specific country where this might be eaten during this celebration.
Straight away, a very hearty, beanie,
Leafy, spinach.
porky cassoulet of sorts. Cheers. It's a one potter. It feels like it's one of those things that's add it all at the beginning, let the flavours infuse, and create something special.
Can you pinpoint what's in there?
Celery, pepper.
There's beans. Are they black-eyed beans? Are they
I mean, you're close. They're black-eyed peas.
Sorry,
We're not
that's what I
talking
meant.
Fergie and Will.i.am.
No, black-eyed peas.
Bay leaf.
Cabbage.
That might well be a bay leaf, yeah. Cabbage is specifically collard greens.
Collard greens. Pork.
It's delicious.
Pork is specifically ham. But yeah, you've pretty much got all those flavours. So black-eyed peas are key. Onions cooked down with bay leaf and thyme with like the celery and pepper. And then you've got the ham and the collard greens.
Got warmth.
Yeah,
Yummy,
really
yum,
nice
yum.
warmth to it as well. Bit
Like
of chili.
Is that peppery or cayenne?
It might have a slight warmth to it. It's not really a
Yes.
key flavour.
It reminds me very much of
Oh.
the soul food that we ate in Charleston. Specifically the collard greens with turkey. Like really tasty, simple in terms of ingredients, but then stewing it down and making them taste fantastic and just really Moorish.
This is a dish that is part of the Kwanzaa festival. The phrase, Matunda ya Kwanzaa, which means first fruit. So a Swahili phrase is the name of the festival that we're talking about. And it happens between the 26th of December and the 1st of January.
Well, without giving too much away, Swahili, a native African language,
One of many.
did this originate in Africa, or was it a result of a festival that came from people moving from Africa elsewhere, is the bit that I'm stuck on.
It is specifically on the 6th day of this festival that there's a big communal feast. And like so many celebrations, it's about friends, family, honour between different ancestors, and a celebration of 7 principles, which are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. So they celebrate those 7 principles in this whole festival, but the 6th day is feast day, and that's kind of where this dish might sit.
I can't stop eating it. I'm really enjoying myself here.
It's all those really warming, hearty flavours. It's got the saltiness of the ham and the heartiness that your body craves of beans and collard greens. The collard greens are said to bring good fortune or money. And specifically, you're supposed to have a portion that has 365 black-eyed peas in it, one for each day of the year. So a portion would be enough to make sure you got 365 black-eyed peas.
Nice.
And how many does this serve so we can count?
So what we did was count 60 and then weigh it and times it by 6.
Oh, you're
really?
such chefs!
What I need you to do is scribble down a country. Remember, as always, spot on, 3 points. If you're both wrong, then the closest guess, and I'm talking centroid to centroid of the correct answer, and your guess will take you just 1 point. Okay, you've both locked in an answer. The Kwanzaa feast. Where do you think it is now celebrated?
USA.
South Africa.
Interesting. Barry, you said you thought you'd had something similar around that time of year when you were there.
Yeah, I was in Joburg in December, and I remember having a bean casserole thing that tasted very similar to this.
This reminded me a huge amount, as I said, of the soul food and the Gullah community
The Gullah.
food that we ate in the south of the USA. I know that Kwanzaa is quite a significant festival there. Whether or not it originated there is another question, but that was my best stab.
So the Kwanzaa festival is considered to be a relatively new thing. originated in 1966 by an activist and professor of African Studies in the Californian State University. This is African American culture and is very much from the USA.
Boom!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Bullseye! 3 points, baby! Lovely, rack them off, Ebbers.
No!
3 points for Mike for getting it spot on. Barry, a mere 8,947 miles away.
But then,
It's delicious. Should we do another one?
Yes, please.
it was probably inspired by the...
No.
Never mind.
Another one for you. Lift the cloche. Where in the world are we going?
Rice. It's rice. Is it sweet or savoury? Tis the question.
It looks like a really dry rice pudding.
Oh, I don't know. Once you dig into it, look, that looks quite moist. Smells lovely. I think that's sweet.
That is sweet.
Coconut. Oh, that's Moorish. You could demolish that. That is so... That could be from anywhere.
So comforting. Now I'm going to correct you. There's no coconut involved. It's just milk and rice celebrated with sugar and then some cardamom.
Cardamom.
It's very simple. There isn't much going on, but there's enough to give you a decent amount of pleasure.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind it's a fragrant variety of rice as well, so the rice itself offers a real subtle but fragrant flavour, so it doesn't need to be overtaken with too much else. Lots of different varieties of the way this could be served.
Yeah.
Everything from that kind of consistency right the way to more almost like porridge consistency, so it can be more soupy, more milky. So the dish itself is literally rice and milk, and it is enjoyed in the Buddhist celebration of Bodhi Day. In this country, on December the 8th. Other countries may also celebrate it at slightly different times, but we're talking about this country on December the 8th. So this dish is believed to be the sustenance which helped Siddhartha Gautama, Buddha, in the final push towards enlightenment, and according to legend was offered by a milkmaid after 7 years of fasting.
God, if you've gone 7 years without eating and then you have that.
Damn.
Yeah.
One special milkmaid.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
This particular challenge is slightly different to our usual global cuisines in that we're involving religions, and for the first time ever, I think, like, you and I both grew up in Christian households. Only in later years have we learnt more about other religions. And we know
school.
School. And we know very little. So I think this is a real challenge. Like, as a title, Christians React to. Right? Because we are in our grounding, that's what we are.
Speak for yourself. I am a well-travelled individual. I've got an answer, Ebbers. I haven't.
So this milkmaid occurrence is said to have happened 2,600 years ago, and whilst not celebrated by all Buddhists, the Bodhi Day is in this particular country on December the 8th. Remember, Buddhists are vegetarian, but specifically during this festival, they would decorate their homes and temples with lanterns, and there would be offerings of food, sometimes this food, to monks and Buddha statues. Cards are exchanged, and people often wear white on this particular day of festival.
Now thinking about it, I don't know why I've answered that.
I have plucked a needle from a haystack.
Well, let's have a look at what you've both scribbled down. 3, 2, 1.
Thailand.
Cambodia.
You've
Okay,
both
not
picked
too-
countries that are
Yeah.
not just majority, but vast majority Buddhists.
For me, it was the milky nature of the dish. Ridiculous, I know. It took me to this part of the world, and then it was just picking a random country.
So I went rice. I went, what's a majority Buddhist country? Milk and cardamom. That's why I'm starting to regret that, because I feel like if that was from Thailand, it would be coconut milk and perhaps a different, maybe cardamom.
You're both wrong, but there is only 49 miles between your wrongness.
Oh no, that's even worse!
I agree, this is very difficult because there are a number of countries that celebrate Bodhi Day. The date changes. We're talking about the one on the 8th of December, but the answer we were looking for, rice and milk, Japan.
Ah, of course.
You're both over 2,600 miles away, but Barry is 49 miles closer.
Oh, what? Oh,
Based on
wow!
temporaries.
How?
Ah! Look at me! I'm coming back, baby. I don't know how.
Centre of the country.
I mean, 49 miles across 2,600. We're talking like here to Oxford.
If that.
That is depressing.
So it's a wonderfully simple dish that commemorates that enlightenment moment 2,600 years ago when the milkmaid offered it to Buddha. Rice and milk. Mike leading 3 points to 1. Let's move on to round number 3. Number 3, under the cloche.
Wow, that looks great.
Oh
That's
my
a big old wedge of it.
God.
But what is it?
Is that pasta or potato? Cinnamon on top would push me towards that.
It
being
looks sweet. It looks like it maybe got almonds or some form of fruit on the top. Cocoa powder. It's definitely, it's like sour cream. Cheesecakey.
It smells cheesecakey.
Sour cream or yogurt.
I've had this flavour before, many a time. It's really, really familiar.
Cinnamon and
Absolutely
sour,
delicious.
and like a soured, creamy.
It's a cheesecake.
It's got cheesecake vibes to it in the sense it has got eggs and cheese, cottage cheese and sour cream in it. It is slightly sweetened and it's basically made with noodles or pasta.
Yeah.
Lots of discussions. This could have come from a number of different places.
It's not.
However, not all of them are as sweet to be dessert.
Okay.
This is a particularly sweet one, and that's why we're attributing it to this particular country, because really they kind of added the sugar into this dish, which is otherwise egg noodle, boiled, and when it's nice and tender, it's then mixed with more egg, cream cheese, sour cream, cottage cheese, sugar, cinnamon, and baked. So it isn't always a dessert, but this nation has made it sweeter and more dessert-like because of the introduction of the sugar beet, and it is eaten during Hanukkah, the Festive of Light. So Hanukkah, obviously a Jewish festival, 8 days, and it changes each year depending on the month of Kislev. But this year, it actually runs from the 25th of December until the 2nd of January.
Right.
But some years it will be as early as November or early December in the Gregorian calendar.
It's absolutely yummy.
Our version of that is like a good bread pudding, where you're putting bread carb into egg and sometimes cream cheese or enriched with
wonderful.
sugar. The fact that it's doing it with pasta, sometimes potato, delicious. But which country? So many Jews celebrating Hanukkah would be sharing gifts. Often food is the gift, donating it to charity or partaking in more sort of community gatherings. It's very much a sharing of food. The Festival of Light, quite literally bringing light into darkness, which is why candles are a big symbolism of the festival. And I've got a wonderful paragraph here which says the origins of this dish are a tangled web.
Right.
We're attributing it to this place because of the introduction of sugar beet refining. Research suggests, perhaps more confidently, that it's the country we're pinpointing. You've both locked in an answer. The dish is called kugel. Where are you guessing it's from?
Poland.
Israel. Weirdly, I was taking it to Italy and France. And I went, okay, it's European, because that's familiar to me as a flavour combination for cinnamon-based cheesecakes like that. And then when you were talking about the Judaism side of things, I was struggling to think of a country in Europe that is predominantly.
But that legitimately could be Israeli.
Yeah, it could be Israeli. Yeah.
I was like,
And you're Polish?
Sour cream,
Yeah.
cottage cheese, and
Nice.
they're fantastic with doughs.
So when we're arcing back like 14th century, it could be sort of Franco-German,
Did I spell
maybe
it right?
200 years after that, sort of Turkic ethnic
real.
groups moving through. But the most confident
Barry spelled Israel
I
wrong.
know I did. I put my paddle back down again. I realised very early on.
But the research suggests more confidently that it was the Poles who turned this creation into a sweet dish.
Double bully!
We're talking Poland.
Wow!
Done. That needs to be applauded. That's decent.
Thanks.
Well done.
Wow!
Well done.
So some really interesting ingredient
Wow.
clues there, as well as the Jewish Festival of Light, Hanukkah, when the dish originated and first became sweet because of sugar beet, because sugar beet was really especially sort of Northern Eastern Europe's method of sourcing sugar,
Did not know that.
where sugar cane obviously was the alternative from the
Who
warmer
knew?
climates.
Well
I owe
done.
so much
Well done.
to who I've mentioned before, Brigitte, who I used to live next door to in my flat, who was Polish and who cooked a lot
Wow.
and shared a lot of food with us.
Great shout.
Delicious kugel, great for sharing in those celebrations around Hanukkah. Do you want one more?
Yes,
One more,
please.
yeah.
This one is purely for pride because Barry can't catch up.
Fun.
But it's going to be a lot of fun.
If you get this bang on, I'll give you 6 points.
Really?
So yeah.
In that case, lift the cloche.
Please. What's that?
I don't know what that was. That was everything I've ever seen
Including
in a ring.
Including a bunt. I don't understand.
Every time I look at it, there's more ingredients.
So far, I've seen an egg, a prawn, and a bunt. Go again?
I think set together in a marinara sauce.
No!
Oh, I see peas and sweet corn and boiled eggs.
You haven't seen the sardines yet.
Oh, and olives and sardines and tomatoes.
Boys, this is couscous paista.
Wow.
Where's the couscous?
It's kind of polenta grain. So it is a polenta base, or cornmeal base, in a ring with just about everything you've named. Obviously, region to region has different variations, different toppings. Sometimes it's meat. This one is just fish, sardines and prawn. I'm quite excited.
They're all really familiar flavours and ingredients. It's just why are they squashed in the shape of a bunt?
Christmas.
Why not? So it's softened onion and a tomato-based sauce. It's then mixed with polenta, and that is set around all sorts of fillings and toppings.
Surely you want to get a bit of everything. This is like
Couscous.
potluck.
Said to have originated in the 16th to 17th century.
Cheers. Unsurprisingly, it tastes of everything. It tastes just really interesting. Like it's solid, but it's not smooth. It's crumbly because of the polenta, but it's nice. Like it's a really pleasant texture.
But because of the way it's been
It's fishy in it.
compacted in, like you've lost some of that couscous light, fluffy nature.
Well, it's more cornmeal polenta in
Gotcha.
that sense. However,
Very good.
we associate a lot of sort of polenta and cornmeal with a lot of dairy and cheese to finish it off. This is made with a tomato-based sauce and has got, onion and garlic in it and tomato-based with all of those delicious ingredients.
I mean, this could be anywhere because seafood is key. Polenta leads you to an area of the world. Tomato sauce. Olives.
Said to have originated in the packed lunches of the pathfinders of this country in the 16th and 17th century.
When you say pack lunches, I thought of kids. But a kid opening up at school with that.
And the festival that we're talking about is the Christian celebration of Christmas and the birth of Jesus. So 25th of December. Locking in answer, I can't really give you many more clues without giving it away.
Yeah, if you get this right, you get 6 points.
Well, I've got 1 point already.
So you can win this.
You've given me.
Okay,
that's
well,
why-
in
that's
that
why-
case, if
why
I
think
get a
you fucked
bullseye,
up.
then I definitely want some.
No.
If I get a bullseye, you have to kiss me tenderly on the neck. In front of everyone. Deal?
You've both locked in an answer. Give us a reveal.
Greece.
Portugal.
Oh, I was going to go Portugal.
Portugal. I mean, I had a taste of it and it leans into that kind of tomato and sardine vibe. Why Greece?
So I was definitely thinking Mediterranean area, and then I was just looking at the individual ingredients. Greek Orthodox Christianity prevalent in that country, and it's on the sea, so they have all the seafood as well.
Anything else that
Good
swung you,
guess.
Baz?
No, yeah, it was the sardines and the olives and the prawns that kind of called me towards Portugal.
The ingredients and the Christian celebration. So this dish is called couscous paista, and it has huge influence from Portugal,
Oh!
That's not
but
the
is
answer.
representative of Sao Paulo in Brazil.
Oh!
So we're talking
naughty boy.
Brazilian Portuguese,
Yes.
specifically Sao Paulo, and therefore, yes, the celebration of Christmas, but all of those flavours that now
So,
make
You
sense.
don't win, I don't get a kiss. It feels like we've both lost.
Have another mouthful of sardine instead.
Christmas is ruined.
Well, I can reveal, Baz, you were closer on that one.
Wow.
4,652 miles away, which means you scored 2 points today
Take that.
to Mike's 6 with the double bullseye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Great job, Evers.
Merry
That was
Christmas,
really
Merry
fun.
Hanukkah,
Amazing.
Merry Buddha Day.
And Merry Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa, yeah, that was the other one.
Like and subscribe.